everybody. I'm Drea Cofield, and I'm coming to you from my studio at Yaddo in Saratoga Springs, New York. I am here, and I'm going to answer a couple of questions about my work with Galleri Urbane. So, I started the selfie project in graduate school, and it was about 12 years ago when I started it, and I just felt that my work had been really solipsistic in nature and very internal and self-focused in a way that, or other work that I really enjoyed or other people were making were also kind of intra-art world, intra-art history, and I was interested in bringing in a different dynamic with an audience where I still had some kind of control over how I painted in my studio, and so I had originally invited, this was kind of pre-Instagram, I had reached out to a bunch of women on Facebook and asked for them to send me images of things that they saw in the world that made them feel a strong emotion. And it kind of started from there, and I got a lot of strange photos of, roadkill or surgery photos or wedding dress photos and I also got some nudes. And those ended up kind of becoming the most interesting photos for many reasons, besides, a beautiful nude body. It's an art historical subject, and it also just gave me a look into the kind of spaces and the way people set up the spaces that they lived in. And so it was very intimate in a way that I wasn't totally expecting. And so the selfie project kind of grew out of this original framework. And as, again, I grew up in the Midwest. I didn't have a lot of access to culture and the arts on a larger scale, certainly not the one that I have access to now. And I was feeling a little bit disconnected from conversations that were happening. So this was a way for me to access a different kind of audience. And so that's kind of how this selfie project came about. And just in terms of this exhibition, this is actually the first exhibition I'm ever going to have of this project. I'm really excited, and it's ongoing. I've been doing it on and off for over a decade, and it's certainly going to continue after this exhibition. And this exhibition in particular, I only chose one category of selfies, because all selfies aren't necessarily sexual, nude, semi-nude in nature. I do always think there's a kind of intimacy in a relationship with portraiture, but this specific exhibition, Send Nudes, is about this. We're curating this exhibition based on the category of the nude in terms of selfies. So when I was putting together the show, I hadn't really decided that the nude selfie was where I wanted to go. I was never indirect or unspecific in my requests purposefully. I didn't really realize what it is that I wanted, but it came to be that I did want to address kind of the nude in art history, and also technology, and my position to create a space where people felt comfortable sending me these kinds of images. I felt like this was all really important to the work, which is how I landed on the title Send Nudes. Technology makes all of these things possible. I get images from people that I know and also complete strangers, and it's very exciting in ways I could never make up or predict. And so when I finally posted about the show and on Instagram, it took about 20 minutes for my profile to be restricted and eventually deleted. And so after some discussion with Galleri Urbane, we decided to change the title from Send Nudes to Send N*DES. So the asterisk in place of the vowel in nudes is a reference to censorship and the kinds of languages we're learning to have to employ in order to share our art on social media platforms. But also, you know, an asterisk is kind of indicative of a footnote or further information, explanation, or conversation to be had, which I think this show is definitely open-ended in that way. So I started working on cardboard for a couple of reasons. I really wanted to, I was feeling a resistance to kind of monumental painting in general, which I feel is a tendency in art school or in the art world. And I wanted something, I was looking for something that was precious, but not because of the material, and something that, you know, you could hold in your hand. I wanted something that could exist on the scale, like related to paper, but something warmer, something recycled. I just really was interested in these things, and you know, essentially painting on trash is what I was doing in the beginning, but you know, now my process is a little bit more streamlined. But so it was those things, and it was also I had learned about this material as a surface for plein air painters, and I also, you know, I paint from life in the landscape, and I always have. And so I learned about this surface from another landscape painter, and it's historically been used as a surface to work quickly, and it's lightweight, so it's easy to transport. And also the warmth of the surface lends itself to landscape and also bodies. So this idea of viewers being insider and outsider is, you know, it's just a reference to this kind of mirror box that's happening in terms of who's looking at who. And because, you know, when someone approaches one of these paintings, not all of the paintings use a mirror or a cell phone. I do encourage that, or like have the cell phone in the photo. I encourage it because I really like that moment, even though people recognize a selfie, right? We know what it is. We understand the format. But the selfies that have the phone in the photo, when you look at that painting, you understand this person took this photo looking at themselves in a mirror. They sent it to me. I like render it into a painting. And then when someone looks at that painting, they understand they're looking at a painting of a person who took this photo themselves, but they're also the audience, their perspective of the image is also they are the person taking the photo in the mirror. So there's this really nice play of collaboration, authorship, shared experience, and it really heightens the sense of intimacy. Okay, so if I could be any animal, my first immediate response would be to be a wild horse, not like a Mustang. But I actually think I would like to be a house cat so I can watch people take selfies in their mirrors. And thank you so much. I'm really excited to share this work, finally.